what's up guys, Benny here, and welcome to the top 5 best loadouts for the Battlefield 6 beta. It is finally here and is one of the best games of 2025, and I want to make sure that you're running the best weapons, the best gadgets, and have the best overall setup to do as well as you possibly can with your time with the beta. I'd also like to say a massive thank you to EA for sponsoring this video, as you can play the open beta for free these next 2 weekends, August the 9th and 10th, and then also between the 14th and 17th of August. There is a link down in the description for you to learn even more, but hopefully this video will make sure that you have the best time possible, as you're going to know the weapons and setups that you'll want to be running from day one. So let's hop into the assault class for your very first loadout. Now, throughout this video, I'm going to do my best to explain to you everything that you need to know about the class system and weapon customization so you can fully take advantage of it yourself. Now, first things first, field specs. There is only one available for each class during the beta, but these are effectively like your perks and also like your superpower or like your class active ability. In this case, it is the combat stimulant, where you can press both your bumpers and then you'll be able to highlight enemy sounds and reveal nearby enemies. This effectively means footsteps are a lot clearer, and it will give you kind of like, not wall hacks, but it will kind of show you where enemies are hidden within a building. It really does give you an edge. Please make sure you're using it, because so many people don't, and it is kind of scary, but I'll explain them as we go through the video. But let's start off with your first weapon. Now, weapon customization can be a lot when you first see it, because if you look at the top left-hand corner, you get something called attachment points. Every gun has 100 attachment points for you to spend. Each attachment has a different value depending on how good that attachment is. So you can build different combinations to really get the best performance for your weapon of choice. Now, for me personally, for the M433, which is a very high fire rate of weapon, on the muzzle, I've gone for the compensated brakes, which reduces recoil and improves remaining recoil. You must have a barrel, and that's one thing straight away. Like, you can see this, right? 15 points for the 14.5 inch standard, 10 for the basic 16.5 rifle, 20 for the 16.5 inch fluted. There is a lot of different combinations and opportunities to build the weapon in different ways depending on how you like to play the game. But for me, 16.5 inch rifle. Then for the recoil, I go for the 6H64 vertical, which is enhanced recoil control at the cost of handling when aiming. So you get less mobility, but it's going to be more of a laser. And I think that's so important with an assault rifle. Then the mags. I've got to talk about the mags. One thing with Battlefield 6 that you're going to notice straight away, your mag size is nowhere near as large compared to other shooters. It costs you 25 points for a 40-round magazine, but because the M433 has a high rate of fire, I like to use that. But yeah, keep that in mind. You go for like a 30-round fast mag for just 10 points if you want to save 15 and spend it elsewhere, but I like going for the 14. Ammo types, this is one of the most interesting elements in Battlefield 6 because there are some ammo types, and it'll be exciting to see the full release of the game with all the different options that we have, but they change. If you look at the bottom right hand side of the corner, they change all these stats. Like, could give you a higher headshot modifier, for example, but you get your reload time, your muzzle velocity, ADS time, headshot multiplier, all of that good stuff on the right side. But you're going to run the polymer case just because that's going to give you improved ADS, movement speed, and you're going to want to be kind of like holding your iron sights or you're holding your irons as much as you can in this game. Then the optic of choice I've gone for is the CCO 2X. Of course, you go for the ROM 1.5. These are kind of personal preference a lot of the time. I've not found like a scope where I've gone absolutely not. It's just where you feel comfortable in using these weapons. For me, the M433 is like a close to medium assault rifle, so it's if you're being really aggressive. So I like to use a 1.5 or a 2X. And I'm going to hop into the firing range and quickly show you this. But also, right, if you go in the firing range and the music annoys you, right, just shoot the speaker and it's going to stop. But when you go into the firing range, one thing that you're going to want to make sure that you're doing in this game is if you hold your trigger down, right, look at all the bullets. Like, bullets, there is like a bloom ADS. So sometimes bullets will just deviate randomly and you're just not going to hit your target. It's kind of like a panic mode. Like, it's sort of just hit fire whilst ADSing. So Because of that, with these guns, you want to just kind of like aggressively tap. And because of the high rate of fire, you can then be really accurate, especially when the aim assist kicks in on your target. But it's a very quick tap, tap, tap system. You never want to be holding that trigger down because you want to make sure to take full advantage of the attachments that we put in. You're getting those initial benefits. And that's one of the biggest differences with the Battlefield 6 and Call of Duty, for example, is recoil is a lot more manageable. But if you hold the trigger down, bullets just go everywhere. And I guess that is why suppression comes into account. But yeah, give this M433 build a go. And we're going to hop into our next setup, which is absolutely ridiculous. Pistol, just adjust it how you want. I very, very rarely use it, if I'm perfectly honest with you. But one of the most broken weapons in Battlefield 6 is this. And yes, if you're the assault class, you can have both your assault rifle and the M87A1 shotgun, which dominates at close range. This is like the perfect all-round setup. We go straight into it. It's the only shotgun available, but we customize, and you've got a couple different options. First of all, I've just gone the basic barrel. There are very few attachment choices. Gone for the 30, the ribbed stubby barrel, underbarrel. I go for the 7-shell tube. You could also actually change it to the 5-shell tube, which means you have less total bullets, but the weapon handling gets even better. Then I run the iron sight just because I like hip fire a lot. And then we also go ahead and run the 5MW red just because I don't want to kind of show people the laser. I kind of like, especially with the shotgun, you kind of need people to push up close so you don't want to blow your position. Then you've got a big choice. Now, this all comes down to your personal skill level, right? If you would say you are an average player, right? Go for the buckshot. You can hip fire with this. You don't have to be as accurate. It's a lot more forgiving. Though, if you are a good player, go for the slugs because it means you can get that one-shot kill at greater distance. And it can be very, very frustrating for the opposition. If you decide to go for the buckshot and not the slugs, right? Now, this is genuinely personal preference. You got to be honest with yourself with your skill level. If you are very accurate, go for the slugs. You'll destroy everyone just because of that extra range. But if you go for the buckshot, you can then go to the muzzle and throw on the CQB suppressor, which reduces audible sound and information revealed when firing. So you're just not blowing your position. I actually really like this setup. It's super, super clean. Give this a go. It will make everyone rage. And that is our first setup. Now, Gadget 2, I personally just go for the thermobaric. Throwables, smoke grenades. Frags and flashes are both mediocre. Smoke grenades are the biggest game changer in Battlefield 6. It will help you pull off reses. It will allow you to pull off flanks, get out of tricky situations. And you don't just get one, you get two to run smokes. We'll probably end up regretting saying everyone to run smokes, but you're going to want to do it. Okay, now let's hop into Engineer for our next two class setups. The first is the SGX Factory. Now, we, of course, have two SMGs available to us in the beta. You've got the PW7A2, which is like the MP7, and then you've got the equivalent of the MP5, which is the SGX. This SMG is ridiculous. One of the best guns in the game. It's so fun to use, especially on smaller maps if you're playing like Domination or anything like that. It is so, so good. The build that I've kind of settled on, I'll actually show it to you in the firing range first, right? Because honestly, the ADS, right, it just doesn't move. It's got great mobility, right? Also, the hip fire is another thing. Like when you're hip firing and you're using Engineer, like you can gun people at a distance quite easily, right? Obviously, that 25 meters is a bit. If you're hip firing at 25 meters, don't know what to tell you, but very, very accurate at close range. The build itself, I go for the flash hider. Just you stay off radar a little bit easier. Then you've got the 8-inch extended barrel for that increased projectile velocity, because that also gives you better damage range. Bullet velocity gives you better damage range in this game, so you get the damage drop off a little bit further away. We then have the 6H64 vertical foregrip, just for better recoil control, which is why it wasn't moving. I then run the 30-round fast mag over the 36 because, like, trust me, those six bullets doesn't make a difference, but that extra reload speed really helps. Then I run the soft point rounds. Now, this actually improves the headshot. Like, if you see if I switch to another one in the bottom right corner, it goes to 1.35. So if you hit those headshots, people just drop like flies. It's ridiculous. Then I run the iron sights so I get all the points for everything I need. And then I run the 50 milliwatt green to make my hip fire ridiculous. Pair that with the engineer class trait, which I know I haven't actually mentioned, but if we back out here, you can see the signature weapon is the SMG, which gives you improved hip fire control. Just turns the SGX into an absolute machine. Also flak jacket with the amount of explosives going on with all the launchers really does help. Then the setup I like running for the engineer is gadget 1 is the unguided RPG, and then surface to air. So you've got the Stinger and the RPG, so you can deal with both air vehicles and tanks. You become an ultimate team player. And of course, put those smoke grenades on, and you've got the perfect loadout. But there's also another loadout for the engineer that I like to run, and one of my favorite weapons of all time, and you'll know Westy will be running this all day, every day. It's the M4A1. This thing is a dream. So if I quickly go into the firing range and show you this, like, I actually do think this is the best weapon in Battlefield 6, right? It's barely any recoil. The optics super clean, high fire rate, right? It's super versatile. Like, and what were they were never going to make the M4A1 not dominate in Battlefield 6. But the build that you're going to want for this, right? For your muzzle, you're going to spend 20 points and get the compensated break. Then, for the barrel, you're going to go stick on the 14.5-inch carbine for improved aiming speed and projectile velocity. Then, with the 6H64 vertical for improved recoil. The 36-round mag, because I can't afford the 40-round fast mag, and 36 bullets, just it seems to be enough. Then we go for the soft point rounds for that increased headshot damage, which, like, honestly, is beautiful. And then I run the OSA 7X because I'm getting up close and personal with this M4, and I think it's one of the cleanest optics in the game. But that is the build. I love it so much. But let's get in to our next class, which is the support class. Now, obviously, there is no sprint penalty running LMGs, so you're going to go ahead and run the KTS 100 factory. There are 2 LMGs of choice, the L110, which has got one of the fastest TPKs in the game, but honestly, I feel like you're a slug. It's just not for me. So I run the KTS factory, which, if I quickly show it to you in the firing range, you'll see super nice, steady fire rate, really nice assault rifle, 60-round mag. If you're holding down positions, this is what you're going to want to go for. The build I run, 5 points for the single port break, reduces recoil. Then we've got the 508mm for increased bullet velocity. The 25, for the vertical foregrip, I pretty much stick this on everything when I can. Then we've got the 60-round mag. I then also have those synthetic tips. It's where most of the points go on. And you'll see in the bottom right, a 2.1x headshot damage modifier. So every time you hit someone in the head, it's like hitting 2 bullets to the chest, which is ridiculous. I expect these to get a nerf at some point soon. Then you've got ergonomics if you want it, but also I just run the 2x scope. But I've got 10 points to spare, and this is one of the strangest positions. So I like having that reduced recoil, and I'm in a position where there's nothing that I would rather spend the points on, and I think this is going to be a problem we don't have when the full game comes out. But I spent 90 points on the KTS, and then you've got obviously the defib, so you can get those reses off, throw those smokes, get your team reses. You can change a game by yourself as a support class. Just make sure you're using cover, putting it down, using those defibs, throwing your ammo packs down for your team so that people can re-get all their ammo. But yeah, absolutely love this. I'll be honest, I've not really played as the Recon. The sniper, there's just go for maximum bullet velocity. But I'm an all-out assault engineer support player. I hope you found those 5 weapon setups useful. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Enjoy Battlefield 6, and I will see you out there. Thanks for watching.